Hey everybody, welcome to Baffling Cyclops. I'm David.
And I'm Pepper Proxy.
And this week we had Halloween.
We did. We had 3 trick-or-treaters.
Yes, but we only prepared for 2 really, but then you wisely made a third alternate bag.
Yes, for the most excited trick-or-treater out of the 3.
That's right.
It was a little dinosaur.
You made an impressive pack though. You packed it was full of Archie McPhee toys.
Yes, and then we had the full-size candy bars. So each of the bags contained one of each of the 6 flavors, 5 or 6 flavors of candy, including the dreaded Hershey bar. Ugh.
Yeah, your least favorite. And then you hand drew Halloween decorations on the bags.
I did. I made a ghost. One was a little skinny, but a ghost, a black widow spider, a couple bats.
And then tied some string to it and then dangled them over the balcony in the front of our house.
Yeah, so we have 2 balconies, and the lower balcony is probably, 20 feet off the ground. And I used kitchen, it's weird. It's like this yellow kitchen-ish rope. And so we tied the bags to that, except for the little dinosaur, because we didn't know he was going to be stopping by. So you ran that down and put it on the driveway, and we caught it on camera. It was pretty cute.
Yeah, and then, he was Godzilla, I believe.
Oh, sorry. You know what? I called him a dinosaur, and he said, "No, I'm Godzilla." So I apologize.
Right. Well, it's important to some people.
I think it's important. It's fair to be important. I think it should be important to everybody, including me. So I apologize.
It's not like he was Barney.
No. He would have been purple if he's Barney.
So we went through that, and then...
But can I just say, that feels like it was a year ago.
Right?
Yes.
this week, we went through the ups and downs of the election.
I do have a new crush.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this John King?
Sure is.
Of CNN? You like men in ties doing math?
Well, I guess I like one man in a tie doing math. I was a little worried that he was getting dehydrated because he was speaking a lot. But yeah, I like him because he's fast on his feet and nimble with his fingers.
Oh my. But yeah, so that ate up a lot of our time this week. Just watching election coverage and talking about the election and thinking about the election.
Yeah.
And
how are you feeling?
No, I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty exhausting.
It was an exhausting week.
We don't need to talk about the
No. I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to disenfranchise any of our listeners, but I think for everybody, no matter who you voted for, you're probably pretty tired of even thinking about it.
Well, our neighborhood's not tired of thinking about it because they've
partied.
They partied late last night. It was a celebration in our neighborhood.
Yeah, it sure was.
They shut down Broadway in Capitol Hill, put a DJ truck up, and there was an instant dance party. So celebrations in Seattle for sure.
For sure. I do have to say there have been celebrations all over the country.
And the world.
In the world. But I'm a little worried because the celebrations were not being mindful of being socially distant.
Yes.
And there were some celebrations without masks.
Which were a mistake.
Yeah, a mistake. And I know that the virus is on the upswing again. So I hope everybody's careful out there.
Yeah, me too. And you bought me a treat, too.
You bought me multiple treats this week.
I did. I was trying to take good care of you.
You took such good care of me this week.
But you bought me, for our anniversary, but they came late, 3 Mego monsters.
I did. They're so cool.
Yeah. The one that I really wanted was, well, 2 of them that I really wanted, but one was Nosferatu, but he would glow in the dark. So I call him Glowsferatu.
I like that name.
And I had told you I was going to keep it behind a picture on my side of the bed so he would glow in the dark at night.
That worked one night. You brought that thing up to the bedroom.
I know. You got so mad.
I wasn't so mad. I was just disappointed in you.
Because all I did was kiss you goodnight, and then I grabbed the action figure and I didn't throw it in your face. I floated it over the top of you and said, "Good night, Pepper." Even though Nosferatu doesn't really talk in any kind of, Dracula talk.
Yeah.
And then you were like,
did.
"I can't believe you brought that thing in here." As if it was an actual vampire.
Well, you never know.
He's invited into the bedroom now, and he's like, "Hello."
Yeah, when I'm here alone doing chores or what have you.
Glowsferatu is going to follow you around the house.
Yeah.
Well-
I want to hear about your other 2.
Yeah, and the fly, which
Yeah.
is the one I wanted, which is the mid-transformation fly from the original movie, The Fly, and the third one, which has actually become your action figure,
He is so helpful.
is a Wolfman.
Not Teen Wolf.
No, this is an actual werewolf.
Yeah, it's so interesting because right now I have this beautiful wooden bowl. I collect wooden bowls. I don't know if our listeners know that, but mid-century wooden bowls. So he is sitting in a wooden bowl stuffed full of Honeycrisp apples, which are my favorite. And he helps me in the kitchen when I'm cooking. He also has started to learn how to Poshmark with me.
I noticed because I walked into the kitchen and you were explaining to Wolfman how to Poshmark.
Yeah, I sure was.
And
he's a quick study.
And I think what we learned is eventually Wolfman is going to share your closet for you.
Oh,
Once he gets the hang of
that
this
would be
style.
amazing because there's no way around making sharing your closet faster. And if you want to make sales, you have to share your closet. You don't absolutely have to share it, but what happens when you share your closet is every single listing that you share goes to the top of its page, its item page. So it really does make sense to share, but it's kind of a pain in the biscuit.
And that's why Wolfman is such a help.
I love him. He is my favorite. He's so cute. I'm looking at him right now. He has a cute little plaid shirt on, some little dungarees. He doesn't have his tie belt, the rope belt, but he also has like articulated hands, and his feet are kind of furry and articulated.
And I set it up for you one morning on your Poshmark boxes.
Yes.
It was when you came down, and then texted you to say, I wanted you. He's really proud of his feet. He loves his furry danglers.
He does have little furry danglers because I call it the crows when they fly with their little legs down, danglers. But Wolfie, I call him Wolfie. He has furry danglers.
Yeah.
His are furry. Well, I wanted to talk about one of the many treats. I'm just gonna say, Starbucks holiday tumblers came out. And we're running out of room, and I'll leave it at that. But one of the other treats that you got me this week was an amazing thing that has changed my life, and that is a headband.
Oh yeah.
That has the my ear holes are either deformed or small or something, so I have a really hard time wearing earbuds, at least the Apple earbuds. Maybe a different brand would be okay. And because of an injury I have right now, I'm unable to actually like read a book or even my tablet in bed. And I find reading a very relaxing way to kind of like try to get to sleep because I have trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. So when I was no longer able to actually like read, I started to listen to books, which I have to say I prefer reading over listening. And I was wearing those earbuds, and my ear holes got so sore, I felt like I had a callus in there.
Yeah, you had sweaty ear holes.
They were sweaty and sore. So you went on Amazon.
Well,
Wait.
You had said, can you get me a pair of earbuds that won't fall out of my ears? And I had been listening to multiple podcasts on MK Ultra, which is the CIA mind reprogramming thing, which we'll talk about in a future episode. MK Ultra, to program people's minds, they would put a football helmet with speakers inside the football helmet and strap it to people's heads so they couldn't take it off, and then loop the tapes so that they would listen to the same sentence over and over again, like 500,000 times.
Oh my gosh, that's tough.
So when you said something that wouldn't slip out, I immediately thought of a football helmet.
You went on the search for a football helmet.
Right, and then...
Oh, and I do wear those plastic braces at night.
Yeah.
So it could be a football helmet with a mouth guard attached, a whole rigmarole.
It's true. And so then I looked, and it turns out when people play sports, they don't wear a football helmet with speakers inside. They wear a sweatband, or like a sweatband with the speakers by the ears.
I didn't know that. They actually have that when they play football nowadays?
Well, they can. Or any other sport, because mostly joggers is that's the most common thing. So when I looked at it, they have them for sleep, but they're also for jogging. So I got you one that was for sleep. So it's basically a band that goes around your head, made of cloth, that has the speakers in it.
Yeah.
And hilariously has all of the controls in the middle
Right
of the
in the
middle of the forehead. So when she wants to turn it on, off, or up or down, she has to reach her hand all the way out and then pull it back in right at the forehead, almost like a drunk test, and then start pressing buttons.
But I got to tell you, I don't have to reach my hands all the way out.
You do.
I just need to touch my forehead.
No, I've watched her. She does the full reach out and then go right back in.
But can I just give a shout out to that product, because I feel like I might wear it outside, even though it's got the big control panel on the forehead, because not only does it create a very soothing, encapsulated listening experience, it also helps my ears stay warm. So I could wear it as a headband outside. I love it.
That's great.
I love it.
I hadn't heard your feedback after the first night. You said it was good. But I hadn't heard that you had fallen in love with it in the meantime.
I have, and I have a confession. Sometimes even after I will set my book at like 60 minutes, or I'll be done listening. I sometimes have kept it on my ears.
Okay, you should download one of those white noise apps.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I shall. But I also have been experimenting.
Shall you?
I also have been experimenting with some sleepy time podcasts.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, the one I tried to listen to last night, though, created so much anxiety for me that I had to get up for a couple minutes.
When you say sleepy time podcasts, are these podcasts designed to help you sleep?
Yes.
And what caused you anxiety in the podcast?
Well, they were walking me through a field outside with wildflowers.
And you found a body part?
That would have been better than what they wanted me to imagine.
Uh-oh.
They wanted me to imagine lying down in the grass without a blanket and having the soft grass on my body.
And it freaked you out?
Oh, I don't like that.
Were there bugs in there?
There maybe were butterflies. I don't mind I just, you know how I am. I can't be barefoot. I don't want to be in the grass. Like, so I had a
You had an
issue.
anxiety
I did.
issue with the
Yeah.
Sleepy Time podcast.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't know about Sleepy Time podcasts.
Yeah, there are a couple.
I suppose it's like self-hypnosis or guided meditation
Yes.
stuff. It's that same
Yeah.
basic.
The one is a woman who writes and then narrates stories, and and it has a little ASMR. One of her stories was in a bakery, which I kind of liked. But then
Did it involve you laying in dough?
And it had something to do with baking and just like she talks about butter and things I like.
Yeah.
And then she'll read the story a second time, but slower.
Oh.
And then there are the meditation. The one where I was creeped out in the field was like a meditation thing.
Well, maybe I should do one of those for this podcast for one of the episodes. I'll do a sleepy time thing. Not for you, probably.
Well, I wonder, maybe some people use our podcast to fall asleep because we're kind of boring.
It's possible.
So hopefully our next podcast will be about mind control.
And then maybe I'll do a go to sleep mind control for the end of the podcast.
Oh my gosh, do you think that these podcasts, these sleep podcasts are actual mind control?
They could be.
Here, let me tell you really quick what they're called. One is called, I think it's called Sleep With Me.
I don't like that name.
Yeah, I don't either. It's not my favorite. And the one that I kind of mentioned earlier, where she went into a bakery, is called Nothing Much Happens. And that's the one where she talks about it. She's got a couple stories about Innkeeper. I haven't listened to that. I started to listen to the hardware store, but it caused a little bit of anxiety for me too. But I did like the jewelry box. I really like the one, like I said, about the bakery. So that might be worth listening to if you guys have some problems getting to sleep. And that headband, the sleep podcast, and a few trazodone, you're good for the night.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Lily has a batch of dough on the worktop that's been rising overnight. Every evening, she mixes it in a large white container and leaves it covered on the side to let the yeast do its work. She removes the tea cloth covering the top of the large bowl. The warm, sticky dough has doubled in size and nearly reaches the top of the container. Already, it smells delightful, but she knows that once it's baking in the oven, it will be even better.
Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. And to read our show notes, sign up for our newsletter at bafflingcyclops.com.